Cause here comes the big belly nigga on my way up with my finger on the trigger. Just for protection, cause niggas be flexing to take you off the map and lay you for a nap.
The thing about this guy, man, I mean, so in terms of the industry, how it kind of works, it seems like they pass songs around. People submit demos, they pass songs around until they get the right artist to fit it. So it may be true that Puffy or the people that collect these songs may have heard this sampled it, and let Biggie rhyme and put his words and verse to it, because it's like Joe Budden's "The Pump Me Up" song. I've heard that song was passed around the industry, and Jay-Z even passed on it, and Joe Budden's decided to do it. Sometimes songs are a hit, but they're only a hit for the right artist. So although it could be possible that they took that song and decided to doctor it up, make a more polished version of it, and let the Notorious B.I.G, not the Notorious B1, it is interesting that their names are the same, rock over it. But the flow, even though the flow is Biggie-like, Biggie was rhyming like that in like 89. You know me, the B.I.G, competition ripper ever since 13. I mean, that was his style. And if you think about the style of someone like Biggie, is actually on the foundational part of it, it's kind of basic because he's just being percussive and rhyming over the track, following the drums in the perfect way and not putting the word out of place. So that style may have been prevalent at that time if you just start rhyming, but Biggie found a way to advance it to be more like a trumpet player, a jazz musician in a sense, you know what I'm saying? You know, in the way he would let his words swing, his cadence swing throughout the beat. So that's a style that's, I think, is uniquely Biggie in a sense, but if you just start rhyming like that, if you just start teaching somebody how to rap, you know, they may sound a little bit like that. They ride the beat the way you're technically supposed to ride the beat. But I don't think Biggie stole this at all. Biggie's one of the greatest of all time, and that can't be debated whether they took the idea for the song or not. The industry is a nasty place. So sorry to Notorious B1, who's like Chub Rock light, but Biggie, you know, Biggie is the legendary guy. What do you think, Slice?
I'm kind of one and a half minds about this. It's like on one end, the similarities in the name and the sample, and even like the fact that they were, you know, kind of look similar is really, really eyebrow raising. Like, oh, what a coincidence! But at the same time, you know, Biggie was, you know, known as Biggie, you know, way before his association with Puff and Bad Boy, and in those old battle videos and stuff. He's spelling out Biggie, you know, he was Biggie already.
Right.
By all accounts, he didn't like the Juicy sample and song idea. He was like, this beat is not, you know, rough and rugged enough for what I really want to do. It wasn't until, you know, it became a hit single that he was like, okay, I see.
But they may have presented it to him, though. They may have presented it to him this idea. I think that's highly possible.
I think that I think absolutely this song came across Puff's desk, and so what does Diddy do? He's not a producer. He samples other people's things, gets people to engineer it, and then he takes the song and makes it another song.
Maybe he's a producer, but not a beat maker. I mean, I guess the
exactly.
language would be he choreographs, arranges.
Yeah, like all of those Bad Boy songs that were hits and bangers. It was, you know, Diddy just like, yo, let's sample this R&B track, or let's sample this thing. Like, none of it was like, you know, wasn't even an attempt to make it sound like it was something else. So that was really their style and their formula. So I think he heard this song, somebody was like, check this out, and he's like, yo, this would be perfect for that dude Biggie that I just signed.
Right.
And you know, the rest is history. I don't even think Biggie probably ever heard the other song.
He might not have.
Yeah, I doubt it. Like, I think Puff heard this Notorious B1 song, had somebody produce the Juicy beat, and then brought the idea to Biggie after the fact. And Biggie probably never even heard the source material at all. And I think even more, like, Biggie was already Biggie. I think he didn't become Notorious B.I.G. until they start making and putting out the first album. So I think Puff may have even been like, "Yo, you should go by the Notorious B.I.G."
You think he ripped the name? You think Puff?
And I think Puff ripped the name.
That was my next question.
Like, "Yo, this would be a great idea for you to go by." And Biggie's like, "Yo, that shit is hard." And again, the rest is history. I don't think Biggie ever even knew about the existence of B1.
So is this fair or foul? Is it fair or is it foul?
I think it's just par for the course of what Puffy was. and still is, you know, a savvy biter. You know what I mean? Like, I think he took the song idea, he even took the name and the moniker and was like, yo, both of these are good ideas for you. And Biggie was like, yeah, I'm with it. Let's get busy. But because, you know, no, Biggie's style and his skill and even the moniker of Biggie was already a thing, as we see from those early videos
Right.
of him rapping on the corner. So, you know, and then when you look at the comparison of, you know, skill level between the two, like, it's not a comparison at all. Like, if anything, he might be a somewhat better version of a Buffy, you know what I mean? But he's of a Buffy from the Fat Boys, you know what I mean? Like,
oh man,
like maybe a poor man's Gorilla Black.
I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, Sarah Michelle Gellar got bars.
Right, yeah, he had some decent patterns and stuff in there for the time period.
Okay,
for sure.
it sounded like 1990
yeah,
rhyme. It
didn't sound advanced like Biggie sound at the time. And I think
Biggie,
that
Heavy D, and Chubb Rock had a special needs Down syndrome baby. It would have sounded like this guy.
Right, he even said, "I was not the overweight lover" or something like that. And then
the Big Belly Bandit.
The Chubb Rock comparison is interesting too. Like, he kind of had a rhyme style similar like that. But I
it's
think
the way people kind of rolled the cadence back then.
Right.
But Chubb Rock, don't get it wrong, Chubb Rock could rap. Chubb Rock was sounding nice.
Oh yeah, Chubb Rock was, you know, very appropriately dope for his time. Right. And like, but you know, I think people, just because they see, yo, a fat, dark-skinned guy on the cover, like, it makes just an automatic, oh, the name, and like, Biggie just copied his whole style. They're both fat and black and have that name. But style-wise and skill-wise, he's nowhere near Biggie.
Nowhere near Biggie. That's not even a question.
That's
been obvious. To insinuate that Biggie somehow had to take that or had someone write for him or based his style off of this guy, that's the part that's ridiculous. But it's not ridiculous that they could have indeed jacked the song, because that happens.
He's like a less technically advanced Eric Sherman at the best. You know what I mean?
you're just insulting asshole when it comes to hip hop, you snob.
I mean, when I hear it, I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna be like he's going in, but it's like, no, he made a good song, but it's not.
Yeah, it was solid. It sounds like
when you heard Biggie, you heard a style and a cadence and a writing level that immediately pulled you in. When you heard this, you heard like, oh, I might bob my head to this in the club in 1990.
Sounds like somebody that didn't even finish the record. Like, they were just working on it. It was in its developmental stages, wasn't all the way mixed.
Yeah, it almost sounded like a scratch draft.
Right.
Even though it was something that got
this is what I'm gonna do, and, you know, to see if I can make.
And it was essentially a demo, because they were shopping it for distribution, and they were dropping like the white label of it in stores and stuff around the country. Like, it was a test press basically.
It makes you not even, as an artist, not even want to send your stuff anywhere, like, because it could be ripped off.
You said somebody in the comments was like, "This is like finding out Santa Claus ain't real." I'm like, a lot of industry stuff is to quote the Boondocks, it's like finding out you like going to heaven and finding God smoking crack. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, what's behind the curtain is a lot less pleasing and romanticized as what you see in front of the curtain when it comes to the industry shadiness and politics. That part